Hello, dear friends. Here we are, 30 days of inner journey. Your thought, your life. And this is the last day of this journey. Yes, 30 days. We made it. Yes, thanks to God and the loving messengers of the beyond. We made it. Well, not actually. We need to go through this one to make sure that we really complete the course, right? And this is chapter 30 of the book Thought and Life by Emmanuel, through the medium Chico Xavier, book published in 1958. And we keep referring it because it's not trivial that these truths that are so validated in many ways, many of the things that are disclosed in this book are currently vouched by science in the scientific studies. Some are yet to come. But in 1958, Emmanuel brought to us through Chico Xavier the directives studied in the schools of regeneration, preparing us for a new birth. Why? Because a new birth is really an opportunity, a single opportunity. And the more we become conscientious of it, the better we are also going to help others in that regard. Okay? Before we read the chapter and dissect it, as we say in anatomy, let us now go to our community and say hi, because this has really been a beautiful journey of loving hearts, right? Hello, Leonor and Josara. We made it, friends. Yes, good job. You guys persisted to the end. Francisca Kranz, hello. And Hermine. And Valeria, you made it too. Rihanna, Adilson, Léa Severo, Andréa Torres, Solange, hello. Sunshine, you know Sunshine, I've got to know your name. Sabine Beck, I know, I've got to know through the Bezerra de Menezes Spiritist Center their email today. Beautiful name. Melissa, hello. And Ceisa, hello Ceisa, how are you? Erica, dear cousin, how are you? Patricia, hearts, love is love, right, Patricia? Tuani, and Luciana is there somewhere. Yes, Constance. Hello, Constance. Friends, today is a special day because we're completing the study of 30 days of this book. Actually, we did 31 days because we did the introduction. But the main study is 30 days. You know what's going to happen next, right? We're going to start tomorrow, believe it or not. This book, money. Money, money, money. What book is this? This book by Emmanuel. Really? Through Chico Xavier? Really? Yes. It's a series. Beautiful series. How many days? 21. Why? Because of 21 chapters, basically. And in this series, as you're gonna see, redefining money. 21 days of empowerment. Now, this is not a superficial analysis because Emmanuel goes deep. But he brings, as he says here, he brings it to us for the needs of material life. What do we do with it? How do we deal with it? And just to tease you a little bit, oh, Léa Severo, you are funny. I'll tell you the story of the translation tomorrow. Thank you. But it's a great book. And Emmanuel summarizes in one last statement, just to tease us, okay? He says, money is also from God. Really? Nobody told us that. We're going to learn it. before we get into that part, we need to empower our hearts. Exactly. Thank you, Rudy. And you know, because of Virginia, Carlos he's downstairs. He's doing translations while keeping an eye on Virginia as she's sleeping, and I'm here with you. So it's teamwork effort. Carlos and I are here together with the loving spirits and our team, because together we're stronger together. Oh yeah. Is it about love? Yes. Love. Just so you feel it. Dum dum. Dum dum. I brought these hearts. Yeah, just to make us visualize all of the hearts. You want a red one? Another red one. I was preparing some materials for our workshop. Carol and Mark and I, this workshop on Saturday and Sunday in Orlando. And I said, why not bring it to our community too, right? You have hearts there, I'm giving you hearts. For all of you. Bing, 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 okay? Feeling it, ready to feel the scripture? Because here goes. The scriptures. Ready, set and go. Chapter 30, love. Pure love is the Creator's reflection in all creatures. Love shines forth in everything, and everything throbs with the same vibration of wisdom and beauty. Love is the very foundation of life, and justice is the basis of all law. Love sublimely manifests itself in the harmony of the worlds, exalting the glory of the infinite, just as it does in the forgotten flowers of the field. Through love shines the soul of all major religions that have existed in the course of civilizations, bringing systems of faith that sought communion with divine goodness. And in the same love is the foundation of every desire for solidarity amongst mankind. It is that the love is the divine plasma enveloping all creation, the very breath of God permeating the universe. Love is the silent hope of heaven, awaiting the evolution of all principles, while respecting the decision of all consciences. By virtue of this blessing, each creature is assisted on its own level. The Lord loves the lowly worm, and gives the worm many thousands of centuries to rise from the slime of the abyss, just as much as he loves the angel who represents him. The life fluid that nourishes the rose is the same that sustains the prickly thorns. The same tree that harbors the defenseless bird can also harbor the serpent with its deadly venom. The criminal who suffers behind the penitentiary walls shares the same prison with the good administrator who maintains order. We repeat that love is the reflection of God, our Father, who is compassionate towards all and who does not violate our free will. Because of this infinite love for all, he determines that according to our deeds, every conscience is always under the law of responsibility. Again, because God loves us, we are allowed unlimited time to walk the path of ascension to him. Whenever we thoughtlessly choose the ways of evil, he allows us eternity itself to return to goodness, and that is his unchanging rule. Because we are God's heirs, rays of his infinite intelligence, and because he himself is the eternal love of all creation, in all and every part, he has established that each spirit should reflect on what is love the most, it loves the most, thus transforming itself into light or darkness, joy or pain. This is the reason why Jesus, the divine example whom God sent to earth to enlighten us, always takes the love of the Father as his source of inspiration. Jesus loved without expecting to be loved, and while helping others, never had any thought of being recompensed in return. On descending to the human sphere out of love, Jesus humbled himself out of love, helping others and suffering out of love, passed through the world with his thoughts raised up to the celestial Father, reflecting his wisdom and mercy. And in order that the thoughts and lives of all of us should reflect God's footsteps of light, he left us, in the name of God, his unforgettable command: love one another as I have loved you. Well, we need the higher intelligence to really break it down, because this is beyond just talking about love. It's about feeling. Why did he put this as last chapter? Why? Yeah, because educators, they have a method to educate. And Emmanuel, an excellent educator, directly guided by Jesus, compiled this book in this very order. 30 chapters, beginning the mirror of life to love. You got it? I got it too. From learning to manage our minds, emotions, and thoughts, directing ourselves, aiming at the supreme commandment of all, love. Let's breathe in and out to feel it. It's most important to feel. Remember, these are therapeutic conversations. We have no intention whatsoever to break this down in any other way. We're actually going to dissect tools, directives to improve our lives, to boost our well-being, to achieve greater wellness, and without the Master and his love, which is a mirror image of God's love, we cannot do it. He's our guiding model. We together are working towards feeling it. So, Constance, let me share with you. The conference we're going to do in Orlando is going to happen in the Center Peace and Love. Okay? If you contact or go to the website of the Florida Spiritist Federation, you get the whole information about the address. Okay? Now, ready for the breakdown? Should we begin with a therapeutic question? Yes. Why not? Because that's how we feel the scriptures. The method Mentor Joseph taught us. We feel the scriptures by asking questions that go to the recesses of our soul. Okay? So, on a scale 0 to 10, how much love do you think you've been able to express this far in your evolution? There's no right or wrong, but it's important to be aware and try to feel by observing within. How much love do you think you've been able to express till now at this very level of evolution you are? 0 being like none, which is impossible because we're divine beings. So let's say 0.1, which is already a lot, but 0.1, to 10. How much love have you been able to express? Where do you think you are in the beautiful gradations of love? Where? You think? 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. That's not good. Go below that because it's impossible. We're never going to go 0 because we are divine beings, right? But where do you think you are? You don't need to answer that to me. Let me think for myself too. Yeah. I got the number. You did too? Okay, so now let's go over the breakdown. Because the definition he gives to us is very coherent with the whole Spiritist literature. Okay? Let me tell you a story first that exemplifies these lessons on love. Okay? The lessons on love. There was a mother who came to Amália Domingo Soler, and it's in the book Hechos que Prueban, in Spanish, in Portuguese, Reencarnação e Vida, and in English, we're dreaming every day that this book comes true in English. But Amália Domingo Soler, the Spanish Spiritist, who really changed the course of events in her country in regards to Spiritism and its dissemination, and still from her beautiful works, she's still very active in the Spiritist movement, leading and connecting with all the other beautiful minds that are taking care of the Spiritist movement. She said that one day a mother came to her and asked why she was suffering so much, because she loved her daughter and her adopted child, but she was not able to actually, financially she was poor, and she couldn't be with them because they lived far away. Her daughter was married, had a grandchild, and she loved the grandchild. She loved her daughter, but because of the financial conditions and the distances of the time, she couldn't be there, and that made her suffer so much. Coming to know of Spiritism and of Amália Domingo Soler, she came to Amália and asked, Amália, can you please ask the spirits why I'm going through this? Let's put a pause here. It's very interesting because Amália Domingo Soler shows to us that she really walked the talk. Spiritism is the promised consoler by Jesus. When Jesus was here, is incarnated, human, he said, I cannot tell you everything, but I'll send you at the right time the promised consoler who will tell you everything I was not able to tell you, and who is going to stay with you until the end of times. When we go to the Gospel according to Spiritism by Kardec, we come to know that the promised consoler is the Spiritist ideas. Okay? Sometimes without the names, because the ideas are universal. But these ideas, this precision of the knowledge about life, in reality, the spiritual life, ourselves, our essences, spirits, etc. But how many people come to Spiritist centers, like the woman who knocked at Amália Domingo Soler door and wanted to be consoled? How many of us say, no, I only come here to give talks. I'm not here to counsel. I'm not here to... And I remember a Spiritist speaker many years ago coming to the group in Virginia And when I asked him to see an Iranian member of our group who was then diagnosed with cancer and needed some form of, fraternal counseling or fraternal assistance, as we say, he was able to see her, etc. But then when we got home, he really reprimanded me, saying, "You never do this again. I came here to give a talk. I'm not a psychologist." And I said, I don't see that way. Because we're no preachers. We're actually, according to the first Christians and Jesus as our guiding model, we need to listen to people's problems. We're not going to tell them what to do, but we're going to listen. And we're going to say, look, I understand your feelings. Read this book. Go talk to your therapist. Go talk to your doctor. Why don't you think about this inner transformation process, etc. But we need to listen. We cannot be on this preaching mode, like pushing and like blah, 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 blah. No, we can't. We need to learn how to serve listening, not only talk. Otherwise, we are not walking the talk. We're just talking. Because walking the talk is not only about our personal lives, it's also about the service. Right? And Amália Domingues Soler, she served. People would write her letters, come to see her personally, and she would never turn them down, like Chico Xavier, never turning down. And then she listened to her, and one day she talked to her mentor, Father Germain, and said, "Father Germain, what is happening with this woman? Shall we help her in some way, clarifying why she's going through this?" And the good spirits, they are ready to console. They're ready to give us some encouragement. And he said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to tell you, Amália. In a previous life, this woman was very powerful. Very powerful. She had a social influence, a good, wealthy socioeconomic status. And she had a daughter too. But her daughter fell in love with a man of a different socioeconomic class. And she prohibited her daughter from dating. And imagine if she was going to let him marry her. Never. But she went beyond it. She asked her henchman to get rid of the man, and the man was exiled in an island. He died. He died, and the daughter, she understood her mother. She loved her mother. She understood her mother. But she was like so depressed, melancholic. She didn't feel like eating. She died. But before she died, in her mom's arms, she turned to the mom and said, "I forgive you, Mom. I forgive you." But even if we forgive people forgive us, if we don't forgive ourselves, when she discarnated, the mother, she revisited her choices. Remember, yesterday we talked about death. We're going to keep the mental images we create in this life. We talked about it yesterday. What is the sum, the resultant vector of all of our images created in this life? And then we'll know what's going to happen next. How we're going to feel. In this case, this woman, she observed that she didn't do it right. So she was asking for reparation and expiation. She was reborn in difficult conditions, so she would not misuse it again. It was an educational measure. No social influence to the level she had before. We all have our social influence, but she had a different level of it. And she had a daughter. She adopted a child as well. And then her daughter later got married and had a grandchild. Okay? The grandchild and the daughter and the man are in the previous story. In that previous life. In that life, they succeeded to being together. And they learned to love one another together with this woman. But now she had to experience what it is to separate loved ones from one another. Now she was exiled by life. They had to leave her away. Do you understand now? If you are an immigrant, if you are going through experiences, it's learning. It's telling us to value things that once we didn't. That we manipulated in the wrong way and we made others suffer the distances from loved ones. For example, we're celebrating Black History Month. How many slaves were separated from their siblings, from their mother and father? Babies that were just born were separated, and now we're apart from our families. We're no victims. We're kindly being taught by God, 1, to never separate people when they love one another, and 2, to value what once we took for granted, family. That's how it is. There are many things for us to observe, but here we see a message of love. How her love and the love of her daughter for her gave them both an opportunity to rebuild their lives in another reincarnation. What is this love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. You didn't expect that. Me neither. Baby, don't hurt me no more. Exactly. We better not hurt people. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, don't hurt me no more. Right? That's exactly what we need to do. We can't hurt each other. So pure love is the Creator's reflection in all creatures. Pure love. You and I reflect in us the love of God. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Can't find it. Can you find it? Look around. Where is it? Where is God's love? Because it's reflected in us. Can you see love in nature? Yes. When you look at a tree, when you look at the sky, when you look at a lake, the beach, the sun, the stars, the flowers. But how about you, your creation too? When you look at yourself in the mirror, can you contemplate yourself and see God in you? Can you contemplate yourself and see God in you? Like when you smile by seeing little ducklings and little dogs, puppies. They are so cute, right? Puppies, aw, they're adorable. They're creation. Can you see God in them? Yeah, I mean God's love. Can you see God's love in them? When you see a beautiful garden, a lavender field, can you see God's love in it? The main question, can you feel God's love in you when you contemplate you? But the big question here is, do you contemplate yourself at all? What is to contemplate? Thank you, Jussara. I'm truly moved by your words. Thank you. The loving kindness of friends. Right? Yes, loving kindness of friends. Thank you, Melissa, for this reminder too. Love is a choice. But by what we're saying, it's law. It's part of us. So, do you contemplate yourself at all? Do you contemplate when you look at yourself and you say, wow, that wow feeling when you see the Grand Canyon, the wow feeling when you see a beautiful beach, a wonderful tree, a beautiful flower in the details of the petals. I can see God's love and I contemplate it. That's an exercise for us, friends. Kardec in the Spirit's book, he said it to us. He clearly said it to us. We have proof of God's existence when we contemplate nature. And you're nature, I'm nature. So when people say, I don't believe in God, my answer is this: you don't believe in yourself either. Because if you contemplate yourself for a minute, it's impossible not to find God. Impossible. People are so detached of themselves that they deny God. That's why this new generation is distant. Because the parents were distant from God. And this is a mirror image of the educational process that is lost. And they don't believe in themselves. That's why they cannot believe in God. Because to date, I have not found anybody who believes in themselves truly, not in a narcissistic way, we're saying a healthy way, that doesn't make that connection. When I contemplate myself, it's impossible not to see the divine presence. So this pure love is reflected in you and I. Love shines forth in everything, and everything throbs with the same vibration of wisdom and beauty. Love is the foundation of life, so it's not an actual choice. Though we have free will, Melissa, you're right, we have free will. But love is inside of us. And then he makes the parallel. Justice is the basis of the law of God. But it's like a coin that has two sides, love and justice. Because justice is the foundation of the dynamics on how love permeates it all. So love manifests everywhere. Through love shines the soul of all major religions. So that's interesting. He says, in all religious pathways, we're gonna find this presence of God's love. What a perfect timing for us to talk about this. At a time when people are trying to convince us that one religion is better than the other. Discriminating religions. That escalation of intolerance, thank God, is receiving great resistance around the world. It's actually something that doesn't begin today. So if you, by any chance, you're reading the news lately, don't get into the commotion of it all. You know why? Because, as Mentor Joseph said, what has always been present is simply coming to the surface. but it has always existed. Now people have room to express their intolerance, their discrimination, their prejudices, but it has been there. The world was not better and it's getting worse. The world is actually being cleaned up. It's clean up time. You know the song, right? Clean up, clean up. It's a child song, of course. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, right? It's clean up time. That's what's happening on the earth. Clean up time, and that's okay. Somebody has to do it, and people have to be instruments of it. So God bless the instruments of this beautiful cleanup, because now we can see clearly. Yeah, the rain is slowly, the reign of the ego is slowly going away. But religions are blessed. A book that is a must, On the Way to the Light by Emmanuel, telling us of this behind the scenes. You see how all of the books by Emmanuel are intertwined. They're interconnected. He never dismisses what he said in another book. On the contrary, they are so interconnected. It's a beautiful work of the spirits. As a science, Spiritism is in itself validated, because none of these books tell anything against the other. On the contrary, they complement, they expand, they are a unison in that regard, in one single voice. So, love is the foundation of every desire for solidarity amongst humankind. And isn't that what we're seeing around the world? These greater expressions of solidarity. Now we're seeing how capable we are of even science. I tell you the truth, as a scientist, I'm impressed that even science is teaming up and leaving the labs, going to the streets, expressing themselves, say, thank God the time has come when we all shall do our part. Yes, it's a beautiful time, as Melissa is saying, we shall plant flowers, good positive words and actions. This is the time. Yes, this is the time. We need to see the good. Seek the good. Remember Emmanuel saying in that chapter 10, understanding. Yes, I wanna seek the good today and every day. I wanna seek today and every day the goodness inside of me and everyone, right? Yes, friends, we really need to do it. So when you see this around, say, wow, what a beautiful time when the good is coming strong and is saying, we're gonna help one another. People of different religions teaming up and helping the Muslim community, etc. It's not political, it's just a social movement. What a beautiful time on the earth. And God bless the instruments, the catalysts of this moment. Yes, and you know, suffering is a part of the life on the earth. Leon Denis said that clearly in his book After Death, right? So, love is the silent hope of heaven. Yes, feel it. The silent hope of heaven. Silent. Let's feel it. Tum tum, tum tum. The silent hope of heaven. I've never felt love that way. Love and hope. Yes, love and hope. Silent. That's why Jesus said one day to Bartholomew, Bartholomew, love does not demand, it transforms. Why? Because it's silent hope. of heaven. God is its expression. He's always silent in a way, so present, silent. He never demands, he awaits. Love is patient, love is kind, love is patient and kind, and this and that and the other, the fruits of the Spirit, right? By Paul in Corinthians. Love is patient, love is kind, love is charitable. God's love for us is in all of us. I don't think I'm capable of loving. I don't think that criminal is capable of loving. Emmanuel is just telling us right now that love is in the air. Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around, there's no better song than this to represent this. Love is in the air, in every sight, in every sound. Yes, and it is. Love is the silent hope of heaven, awaiting the evolution of all principles. Let's pause for a therapeutic moment. Do you feel that you're built of love? We know the teachings tell us, but do we feel it? Do you feel it? Let's breathe in and out and identify. And observe. Where do you feel something when you think, I'm built of love? That's my essence. My essence is love. Is it in your determination to serve and to be in harmony? What is that would define your loving essence? Because each one of us has a particular feature that would be the key to identify our loving essence. Yeah, your presence here now is the proof that you're built of love, because you want to progress, and that's love. You want to be with others, that's love. Social beings, love, the loving bond. You want to exercise your qualities and you want to expand it, that's love. Love. And he says, awaiting the evolution of all principles while respecting the decision of all consciences. I think that's the main statement of this chapter. Love is the silent hope of heaven, awaiting the evolution of all principles while respecting the decision of all consciences. Do you know what I mean now? Yes? Now we're going to learn how to respect. Remember, it's love and justice together. No wonder we cannot have one talk about love without justice and charity. Like in the 10th law mentioned in the third part of the Spirit's book by Kardec. Love, justice, charity. That's life. But in justice, respecting people's consciences. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. Thank you, Joyce Magalhães. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you. Yes, even during turbulent times, God is so merciful and loving that He persistently shows us innumerable signs of love. They're so important to strengthen us. And you are one of them, Joyce. And all of us, Publio, hello, Rita, Di Cassia, and Adilson. Thank you, Adilson, for your presence, for teaming up with us, and for being together. Without this community, we couldn't make it, right? And the Kardec Radio family, turning 6 years this year. Yeah. And we are going to have a special event July 1st and 2nd, and it's gonna happen at both the Quakers House in DC and the Franklin Square Park in Washington DC. Everybody's invited. But let's go back here. Melissa is reminding us justice is respecting everyone's rights. Exactly. It's in the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec, in the very chapter Law of Justice, Love, Justice, or Justice, Love, and Charity. Okay? Let's go back, because here he defines one element that we didn't expect. This is mature love. This is about unconditional love we're talking about. Though he doesn't use that word unconditional, everything points to that direction. That the love we're aiming to achieve is the unconditional love. No demands, as Jesus said. No demands. And he's going to tell us the way. He's saying, by virtue of this blessing, we're assisted by God in our own level. Now, something that is so poetic and so true that is even hard to grasp. I mean, we grasp it, but the depth of it. He said, the Lord loves the worm as much as the angel. So when I hear that the Buddhists, they avoid killing any life form, they're right. Okay. Good job for them. But you know, today I was cleaning parts of the house and I saw some ants. And I was like, oh, little ant, it's either you and I. And I said, really? Ants? And I tried whispering and saying, you know, like remembering Chico Xavier and telling them, ants, I think you better go outside, find your home. But Carlos was so cute the other day. Virginia and I saw a little spider. And, you know, we need to teach, not to kill, right? We need to learn and to teach together. So I said, oh, Virginia. And she was like, spider, go away. And I said, oh, she's maybe lost. And I said, Virginia, what do you think she's looking for? Oh, she's looking for her mom. It's always the mom. And then I said, Carlos, there is a spider here. And he was so cute. He got a piece of paper, put the spider on it, and he said, let's tell the spider to go to her house because this is our house. And he put the spider outside the door. That was cute. And it was adorable. Because according to what Emmanuel is saying, God loves that spider as much as he loves me. Literally. I know, it's so adorable, right? Yes. Yes. It's adorable, but think about this. When you see a snake, a rat, a mouse in your house, a mouse in your house, it rhymes, but it doesn't feel that good, right? Yeah, little mouse. Yeah. Can we sacrifice the animals for greater purposes? We can. It's in the Spirit's book and it makes sense. But we need to train ourselves to diminish those conditions if we want to evolve. So humanity is evolving. There is even what we call in dieting, Dr. Dean Ornish, the greatest authority in the field. If you look for his website, Dean Ornish, Dean, D-E-A-N, Ornish, O-R-N-I-S-H. He's the leading authority in science on plant-based nutrition, okay, and in lifestyle medicine, telling us how we can really be healthier. But that's another story. We don't want to go there today, not now. let's leave it for another study. But if you want to go deeper, study that, the Spirit's book, many other books. But what we're feeling here is the love for the bird. He's saying, the tree that harbors the defenseless bird also harbors the serpent, and the tree receives the boost of life from God. So God loves the worm and the angel. The angel that represents God already, and the worm that's still gonna march towards it. Can we feel it? Because usually we think people who are angelic are more loved by God than us. Do you think God loves more Chico Xavier than you? Do you feel God loves more the Dalai Lama than you? It's not true. We're equally loved, because God sees us already done perfect. We don't need to conquer His love, but we need to consciously march towards this unconditional love of His. It's our march, not God's. And Adilson is saying, I found a little mouse last year. I prayed and I asked God to guide him out of his final day out. Finally, days later, he found his freedom. What a relief and joy. Good job, Adilson. You were very patient. Good job. Really good job. I'm not sure I could be that patient, but that's an inspiration. You prayed and asked God to guide him out. And you're right. We know there is a spiritual principle there that is evolving. We need to be reverent, to be respectful. You see how far we are on the earth from feeling that, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry. Be happy. It's a commercial now. Doo-be-doo-be-doo, don't worry, be happy. Yes, we're evolving. People are ever more conscious. And even scientists now are teaming up to secure that we keep working towards this awareness that Earth needs to be cared for, and we cannot exploit it to the benefits of a few. We actually need to secure it because it's the home of lots of not only humans, but beings of different kingdoms. We need to keep it in balance. And then Emmanuel, he repeats, and he's such a wonderful educator. He even uses the word, I repeat, and we repeat, that love is the reflection of God, who is compassionate towards all and does not violate our free will. Now we got it, right? Why God allows us to make choices? Because He made us this way. Because of His infinite love for all, He determines that according to our deeds, every conscience is always under the law of responsibility. So He loves us, we have free will, but we are also responsible for what we sow. What a beautiful way of raising children too, right? And I tell you the truth, I owe my parents, sincerely, the gratitude of my life, because they taught me this way. They were spiritists, but it's beyond that. They always looked at me and said, Vanessa, remember, you're free to choose, but whatever you choose has consequences, and you have to deal with the consequences. What do you want to do with it? They empowered me. They never undermined my potential. They always trusted that I was here, not because they knew what I would do next, no, but because they knew we're children of God. How can I doubt somebody's potential? Forgive me for saying this, but Mentor Joseph told me this one day. It's criminal when parents put their children down by saying, "You're messy, you're useless, you see, you don't amount to anything." We as parents cannot do it because they are children of God. If we discourage them, even if they go through the wrong pathway, remember, it's between them and God. By undermining them, we are creating problems for them. They're going to doubt their capability. And we are all going to suffer more. So let us emulate God in that regard and empower our kids, saying, from an early age, boosting their discernment. But you need to talk to the child. Some parents are like, "Oh, but they're little." Well, talk to them and they're going to talk to you. The brain, the physical brain, works by stimulation. We're not going to overstimulate them, but we're not going to baby talk them. We're going to say, "Look, do you like," the other day Virginia was saying, "Stop it." And I said, "Do you want me to say stop it to you?" And she said, "No." So are you going to say stop it again? Because you have to do what you want to receive. Do you want to receive it? Do you want me to tell you stop it? No? Okay. So be careful with the words you're using. She's 3. But Mentor Joseph said, do not baby talk her. Talk with her lovingly, but boosting the discernment. Because there is a millennial spirit there. Millennial in the sense like living millennia. Okay? Yes. And Rita DiCarso is saying, remember, love brings love. I like your post when you said that. Love brings love. It attracts love, right? Hello, Tara Mary. Well, well, well. Yeah. Thank you, Lord, for Valeria is saying, for allowing us to be all together in this beautiful community of love. You're right, Valeria. It's a gift of the loving spirits. People from different continents together at this very hour, being bridges of love, so other minds can partake and we can do our share, instructing ourselves and loving one another, right? But here he comes and says, he loves us. Because he loves us, we are allowed unlimited time to walk the path of ascension. It means that the people in our lives, they are children of God, and God decides when they have unlimited time. Why are we going to put pressure on others? Because we love them? Yeah, we can encourage them, but never say, you see, give up because you're never going to do this. We can't do that. We need to feel God. And then he finally brings to us our model, Jesus. Jesus as the expression of love from God towards us. And Jesus always found in God his inspiration. Therapeutic moment. Has God ever been your inspiration, my friend? Let me ask for myself too. Has God ever been my inspiration? Because that's our ultimate goal. To make God our supreme inspiration. Nothing else, nobody else. Of course, we're creatures of love. Jesus is our model, but he taught us, God is my inspiration, and he shall be yours too, because you are God's. You are children of God, right? Can you hear it? Yeah? You are children of God. We are the children of God. We reincarnated to learn to do good. Yes. Exactly. And we need a guided model. We need it to really stimulate our spiritual and physical brains. Use Jesus as your guided model, your GPS. And he says that Jesus humbled himself out of love, helping others and suffering for love. He passed through the world, raising everything to the Celestial Father. And finally, in order that the thoughts and lives of all of us should reflect the footsteps of life that he left us, he gave us the ultimate commandment: love one another as I have loved you. Let us close our eyes at this moment and just wish a shower of love onto one another here in our community, visualizing each other being showered by God's love. Beautiful shower of love. And from us to our families, visualizing that this love heals. And from our families to our communities, and these loving showers now spread and multiply themselves out throughout the continents that we're living in. Let us observe Europe being showered by love, Asia, Africa, Australia, North America, South America, Central America, the whole planet Earth. Shower of love. Yeah. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa. Don't forget Australia. And that's another child song. That's love, friends. How we're gonna wrap up? Feeling the love is so good. So good. So good that it's wonderful. And the world is wonderful because God is in charge of it all. Yes, I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Here we are after so many existences together, different. We're improving ourselves. We're better than we were yesterday. May we be better tomorrow than we are today. And to make it better, we're going to study together, empower ourselves by learning how to be in the world without losing ourselves to the world. And Emmanuel gives us another tool. Money. Yes, money, money, money. Okay, starting tomorrow. We're gonna keep it 11 p.m. just because it's the instruction we were given. For now, we thank you. And thank you everybody who is here with us, sharing your love, sharing your thoughts, sharing your feelings. Friends, let us believe God is love and we're children of God. So we're loved too. Big kiss and a hug. And until later at 11 p.m., 21 days of inner empowerment.